Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fluency First podcast. I'm here in the beautiful Quarry Gardens near my house, and I have a very special guest for you. And it is none other than my best friend, Elliot. Would you like to say hi, Elliot?
Hi, Elliot. I mean, hi.
Okay, let's sit down. So, as you know, or maybe this is the first time you're watching, but we start every episode with, do you know what we start it with?
Small talk.
Small talk, right? That's everyday, easy conversations like the weather, how you're doing, what you have been up to lately. So, Elliot, how has your week been so far?
So far, my week's been pretty good.
Yeah.
It's been a bit of a different one. My wife and 3-year-old son are staying down south with her family. So I am at my house alone. I only have the dog and the cat to look after. So yeah, a little bit more relaxing than usual, I would say.
So you don't have a toddler in the house?
Nope, I am child-free this week.
Completely home alone.
Yep.
Which also happens to be one of your favourite films.
It does.
You know, this actually reminds me of when I left to teach English in Korea in 2012, and you did a video for me.
Yeah,
Do you remember that video?
I do.
You're starting to sound like that video.
I'm David's best friend and I like to go shopping.
I will show that to everyone.
Hello, my name is Elliot. I'm David's best friend. My favourite food is pizza. I like to go to the cinema and shopping with friends.
Okay, next small talk question. So have you had a chance to watch anything interesting lately, like a film or a series?
Yeah, actually on Sunday I watched a quite charming British comedy called The Ballad of Wallace Island, which was very gentle.
The Ballad of Wallace Island.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
gentle,
like
you
a
say.
warm hug. It was a quintessential British comedy film.
Okay.
But I've also started watching Daredevil, the
Daredevil.
TV series, which is
right.
pretty good.
Cool. So the next section is about friendship. And like I said, we have known each other for quite a long time, since year 4. That's age 8 to 9 in the UK. It's a long time.
Yeah, nearly 30 years.
Yeah. So my question is, do you remember the first time we actually spoke in year 4?
I don't, but you weren't my best friend then.
No,
So no, I do remember.
That's really upsetting because I do remember the first time.
What was it?
I remember being in the playground, and it was, I'm not going to use last names, but it was you, Dan, Katie, and Ramsey, and you were playing Batman, and you all chose characters, and I didn't have a character. And I remember, I think it was either you or Dan or someone said, "Oh, you can just be Penguin," and I was so upset. But at the same time, I thought to myself, well, at least I'm playing with someone in the playground, you know. But that's my first memory of you.
Okay. Well, I have memories of that time. I'm sorry. You're better than Penguin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember, and you know this because I said it in your speech, which I'm sure we'll get to.
We will talk about that. Yeah.
You said we were playing Tig or chasing, a game, running around, and you said that you had a stitch. I've got a stitch, I need to sit down. I had no idea what you were talking about, so I learned that from you.
I still get stitch.
Well, I get stitches now, now that I'm a grown-up. And the other time, and you know what I'm going to say, is when you came over to mine.
And I showed you how to play with toys.
No, that's not. You brought your Beanie Babies over, and we played
We played with our Beanie
with our
Babies.
Beanie Babies.
And I also remember making a tent, like a den with you.
Yeah,
That
I was
fun.
I loved that.
Yeah, really good memories. I actually remember, we're going off script now, but I remember going to a fancy gym with Elliot and his family. and it was called Esporta, very posh gym. And I remember them having orange juice, and it was like all you can drink orange juice. Free. And I just thought, this is living, you know. This is the ultimate luxury. I just couldn't
At 7
believe it.
years old.
Yeah. I thought, this is just amazing. Why isn't everyone just standing by this orange juice and drinking it? Anyway, we should get to the other question.
In the gym, they're all working out.
No, it was in the lounge area.
I know.
Okay, the next question. Hopefully you can't hear the airplane in the background, but it is, why do you think we stayed close even when I moved abroad? And I'm not talking about when I moved to France, because I moved to France when I was 18, but in 2012 I moved to South Korea to teach English. So why do you think we stayed close?
Well, first of all, when you did move away, that was devastating.
Oh.
My best friend was leaving me to go halfway around the world. But I think we stayed close because we stayed in touch. You know, we would video call fairly regularly. And every time you came back to the UK, which was only once a year, I would absolutely take every opportunity within the time that you were here to see you.
Yeah,
But
I felt very privileged.
But I think moreover, the reason we stayed close is because of our connection. You know, I think it's quite rare that two, certainly, you know, adults stay as close and connected when you live halfway across the world for a prolonged period of time. I think that's quite rare.
Yeah.
And particularly, you know, I wouldn't see Dave for a year, and then he would come back to the UK, and you know, when we'd meet up, and it was like I'd seen him yesterday.
It was, wasn't it?
Every single time.
Always been like that.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
You know, ultimately you were away for 13 years, you know, across different countries. Is it something like that?
Well, from 2012.
It felt like a long time.
Yeah, it was a long time.
But every single time that I saw you, it was just like I seen you yesterday.
Ah.
And now sometimes, thankfully, it is that I've seen you yesterday. I actually have seen you yesterday.
Yeah, I'm back in the UK for good. Okay, next question is, were you ever surprised that we didn't drift apart? Because I'm sure, you know, I've drifted apart with some friends, and I'm sure you have too.
Well, that's what, you know, going back to what I just said, I think it's rare that people don't.
Yeah.
You know, I have friends that I was very close with in school that I'm not friends with anymore, and that's not for any personal reasons. It's just, you know, you grow up, you move apart.
Right. But it's strange. They say you need 7 years like of friendship with someone, and then that's a lifelong friend.
Wow.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's true.
But what I would say is sometimes I look back and think, I kind of can't believe that we have stayed as close as we are, because we could have so easily not. You know, it would have been no problem at all to just not contact you when you lived in Korea, especially because of the time difference.
I think we both put the effort in. I think that's what's important. Great. Next question. What's one thing that stayed the same about us and one thing that's changed?
I think one thing that stayed the same is our sense of humour. I think when we meet up, we have a laugh every single time.
Yeah,
it's great.
I feel like a kid again in a way.
Yeah, it's, you know, when your face hurts from laughing, that's what I get every time me and Dave hang out.
And such a joke.
It's never gone away. Yeah. It's just Dave tells jokes and I laugh, and that's our relationship.
That's it. No.
One thing that has changed is, though, you know, our lives. We have both grown up. You know, both got or had full-time jobs. You know, full-time jobs impact your life. Relationships, you know, spouses.
I was going to say, like, now it's not just you and me.
Nope.
It's you and me and our wives.
Yeah.
I keep saying our wives.
My wife.
It's you and me and our wives,
Yeah.
and obviously your son Theo. And that's like different, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, you know, we've grown up together. So the things that we are now interested in and things that we aren't interested in has changed.
Right.
You know, I'm talking, we don't go out into town and go clubbing like we did, you know, maybe 15 years ago.
Right.
And I don't want to.
No.
So that has changed, but we've kind of changed together in that respect.
Yeah.
And, you know, as you said, there's new dynamics with our wives joining us much of the time and my son, and that's great. It's really, really great.
Next question is, what was it like having each other as best men? You know, I was the best man at your wedding, you were the best man at my wedding. Was there any pressure, or was it just easy for you?
Oh, well, first of all, how cool is that we can say that?
Yeah. If it's okay with you, I'll show little snippets of both of our speeches.
Yeah? It's cool.
We became a lot closer friends in secondary school, despite our stark differences. He played video games, I played basketball. He was chatty, I was quiet. He was the funny one, I was the handsome one.
Alright, so once again, I'd like to say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know, my name is Elliot, and I've been lucky enough to be chosen as Dave's best man. For my speech today, the bride and groom have asked that I don't talk about any of Dave's mistakes, mishaps, or embarrassing moments. So thanks everyone for listening. That's it from me.
Well, you were my best man first, and you set the bar, and Dave gave a fantastic speech. It was so funny, so heartfelt, so emotionally impactful, and you know, he had the whole room in stitches, and I think everybody appreciated what Dave said. I went next. You know, Dave got married after me, so he asked me to be his best man, and there was big shoes to fill. There was a lot of pressure.
Some good phrases, you know, set the bar and big shoes to fill. Anyway.
But, well, yeah, you know, so when organising a stag do, I wanted to arrange something that was fun, but that I knew Dave would enjoy, you know.
What's a stag do?
Well, historically, your last night of freedom, or that's how they used to phrase it, isn't it? But it's when the groom and all of his closest friends get together and celebrate the fact that he's getting married before the wedding. Right. So for us, us two and a small group of your friends, we went to Dublin.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of nights there, and it was really good fun, wasn't it?
It was great.
And then the speech, that's obviously the thing with the element with the biggest pressure. How do you think I did?
Your speech, it was great, yeah. I'm happy that you embarrassed me, but not too much.
Yeah.
You always need the right amount of embarrassment, I think. When you go to some weddings, people give speeches that make the audience feel awkward, I would say. I have seen a few where I was just like, oh, not sure about that.
And Dave is a very sensitive soul, so I had to be careful with what I said. But I think I pitched it well. I think I judged it.
Whereas I was pretty brutal. Was I brutal to you? Not really.
In your own way.
Yeah, which is not at all. Yeah. Fun one. If you had to describe our friendship in a film title, what would it be?
Oh, I know this one.
What, Dumb and Dumber?
Maybe, but I was going to say, I love you, man.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is a good one. Yeah. With
I'll be Jason Segel.
Jason Segel and Paul Rudd. Yeah, I'll be Paul Rudd.
You be Paul Rudd.
The man who never ages.
That's true. Okay, next one before we start walking is, what do you think makes a friendship last through so many phases of life?
I think making the effort obviously helps a friendship to last. Being honest with each other. I'm sure there have been times when we've rubbed each other up the wrong way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You know, sharing the goods, the highs and the lows. Sharing the highs and the lows is, I think, what's kept us sort of emotionally close. I've been through, difficult times in my life, and I've always had you there to talk to and to vent my issues and to problem solve. You're a very supportive friend. And hopefully, it's reciprocated, or you feel that it is. I think it's important to share the highs and the lows, be honest with each other, make the effort, and to have a good time.
Yeah.
That's the point, isn't it? We're friends, so we can have fun together.
Right, you want to have a good time. But yeah, I agree about supporting each other. I think you need to, when you've got a good friend, when, something good happens to you and they are really excited for you. Next question, ready? Do you think everyone needs a best friend, or is that just a childhood idea we hang on to?
I don't think everyone needs a best friend. I think there are some people that are perfectly happy in their own company, for the majority of the time. Basically no one needs to feel the pressure. I don't have a best friend, oh no.
Yeah.
But I also don't think it's a childhood idea that people hang on to. I haven't sort of made any specific effort to call you my best friend. You just are because of our relationship. The effort has been into maintaining a friendship,
Right.
But I also take your point, sort of, I'll be your best friend if you play with me. That's a very childish thing to say, but, I have good friends, and then I have Dave. And there's the difference. Dave is my best friend. So.
Well, thank you. That's a very lovely answer. Has your idea of friendship changed over the years?
Yeah. Yes, I think so. I think that.
How?
There are some people that see. Yeah. I think that there are some people that see friendship as, these are the boys I go out drinking with, and that's it. That's their friends. But I think, and there was definitely a time when we used to go out, and that's what the majority of the that's.
But we would go out and talk for ages, wouldn't we?
But
we'd also drink a lot.
Yeah, but now it's kind of friends. It's like a relationship, isn't it? It's not any one thing.
So the next question is, do you think we would have still become close if we met as adults?
Oh, that is a good question. Possibly. I would think so, because we've got the same sense of humour.
Yeah.
And I think that is what initially can create a friendship. So yes, there's a very real chance that we would. Yeah. We wouldn't have our years of history, obviously, which has informed our friendship.
Yeah.
But maybe not. I can already speak English, and that's your job. You're an English teacher. So maybe we wouldn't have run into each other. Also, can I just say, Dave is on a hill. We're the same height, but
Mate, I'll stand here. Look, I am a bit taller than you.
No, you're not.
I am. Look, let's stand.
Yeah. Now look. I'll stand where Dave was. Now I look taller.
You are. Okay. Is there anything you have learned from our friendship specifically? That's a bit of a strange and specific question, really. Have a think.
Yes, I've learned that you don't need to see your friends every single day for them to be your friends, to maintain that relationship. As we said, I didn't see you for a year. And I think there would probably be some people that might think, what, you haven't seen them for a year? How are they your friends then?
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. It's, as you said, even if we didn't speak for a month, it didn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a good answer. So next question. Do you think we've helped shape who each other became?
Yes and no. I think if I'd shaped who you have become too much, you never would have gone to South Korea. I didn't want you to go initially. So that's a no then, you know. But that's a good thing, because you did, and you met your wife. But yes, in the same sense of, you know, me and you talk, and you make me think about how I act and you know, how I behave, not in any particular circumstance or situation, but you know, I think that when we talk and, you know, we share advice and whatnot, it definitely makes me reflect and try and be a good person, really, because that's what you're, a good person.
Wow.
So in some senses, yes, we do inform who we've become, but in others, you know, no, and that's a good thing, because we're still independent people.
Do you feel like it's harder or easier to make new friends now as an adult?
Harder.
Even for you, because
Yeah.
Elliot's quite an extrovert, I would say. You're quite talkative and good with people, no?
I think I've become more introverted in later life.
Interesting.
You know, definitely. I think that, well, I don't know. I've heard that the older men get, the harder they find it to make friends. I mean, by the age of 30, I would say you've certainly 40, not that we are nearly 40, but you've kind of made all the friends. You've been through all these sort of transformative periods in your life. You've been to school, you might have gone to higher education, university, for example. You've been through your first, second, third job. You've made friends and hopefully maintained friendships throughout all of that. It gets to a point where maybe it gets a bit weird to keep making new friends. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I'm quite self-conscious about that sort of thing.
What about making new friends?
Well, I wouldn't want anyone thinking why is this weirdo talking to me?
Oh, why is he like walking around? Will you be friends with me?
Yeah, I don't say that. That is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think it's harder. Also, because when you're an adult, you are in situations where you meet new people less frequently, less regularly. You know.
Yeah, and you have to choose who you spend time with.
Yeah, less free time. So when I went to university, as an example, I was suddenly around hundreds of new people, you know, on my course, who I lived with in the flat. You know, that doesn't happen anymore.
Right.
You know, I have my own house, and I go and I see the same work colleagues every day.
You meet less people.
Yeah.
You meet new people less often. But I don't know, I think my dad, for example, has gone out and met new people. Actually.
Weird.
Yeah.
No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. No, that
okay.
is good. And I think you have to make a lot of effort. So, you know, I would have to go to some sort of club or something to meet new people.
Clubbing?
No, you know, like a hobby club.
Right.
Which, I don't know. This is an example of me becoming more introverted, too nervous to do something like that.
To join a club?
I think so.
Interesting. Oh.
I just stick with you.
Okay. So the next topic is fatherhood. Because, you know, you're a first-time dad. I'm not a father yet, but I do hope to be in the future.
I'm the daddy.
Yeah, you are the daddy. So how was it at the start, basically? How was it being a father, you know?
How was it, or how is it?
How was it at the start?
At the start, I didn't take to it very easily or very quickly. Yeah, I struggled to adjust, I think, because, I mean...
What aspect, what part did you struggle to adjust?
Having a new family member that I am responsible for and my wife is responsible for, and not just having each other, I think, and the pressure that comes with that, I struggled to adjust. I mean, it is one of the biggest adjustments that a person can make, or a couple can make. And I was so excited. I read all the books and, you know, I was loving it. And then our son was born and I found it very difficult. I found it difficult to, it sounds awful, but to form sort of an emotional connection with him initially. My wife absolutely loved him, and he was her favourite thing in the world, and I wasn't. And that could sound like jealousy, and even retrospectively to myself it sounds like it, but it didn't feel like that. I don't think that's what it was. I just found all of the adjustment very, very difficult. I've never been a fan of change.
Right.
And it was the biggest change. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I still did everything that was expected of me. I took care of my wife, you know, initially because she had a C-section. That was very tough for her. But also, obviously, taking care of my son. I just didn't enjoy it like I was supposed to at the start. I still did it, but it felt like I was missing that enjoyment. Don't get me wrong, I have it now.
Right.
I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. And if anything, I regret the fact that I felt like that. And I certainly wasn't trying to feel like that. I didn't do it on purpose. Yeah.
I think it happens to a lot of people. You know, you're not alone. It is known, and it is a thing. So what's something about fatherhood that surprised you? I guess that. Anything else?
Yeah, well, I'm very, very, very happy and relieved to say that I'm not in that position anymore. But what surprised me, it sounds so cliche to say it, but the joy that you get just from seeing him have fun and him be happy. So I mentioned earlier, my wife and son are down south, and she's sent me some pictures of what he's been doing today. He went strawberry picking, and the smile on his face, that made me so happy.
Would you be okay with me sharing that photo?
Yeah, that's fine. He's a sweetheart. And he also went on the swings with his grandma and grandpa. That's who took him today. But the fact that he's had a good day makes me so happy, and it's a joy that you can't describe, and that has surprised me. I nearly got married there.
Did you? Oh, so did I actually.
We came and had a look at this venue.
Why did you not choose this place to get married?
Because it's right around the corner from my parents.
What's wrong with that?
I'm only joking. We didn't want to choose here because we chose somewhere more in the middle between my family and Ria's family, so more equidistant. And also, I grew up very close to here.
Did you?
And came here a lot.
As a kid?
Yes.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, it didn't feel unique in that regard.
Right.
And I didn't want it to be more my thing than Ria's, than my wife's either.
Yeah. So you talked about having, you know, difficulties at the start of being a father, right? Difficulties into fatherhood. What helped you find your rhythm as a dad?
Time. I think time. As my son grew older and started reacting a little more and engaging, I suddenly found that a lot easier. So when he was laughing at faces I was making, suddenly it kind of clicked into place a little bit. And you know, I didn't want to be struggling with fatherhood.
Right.
I wanted to kind of fix that. You know, I spoke to my wife about it a lot, and yeah, so as soon as I possibly could, I was aiming
So it was time
to be a good dad.
and effort, right? Time and effort.
Yeah.
So your son is called Theo, right? With a TH, th. How does it feel hearing his English improve over time? Obviously, he will be a native speaker, but he had to learn as well, didn't he? So how does it feel hearing him improve over time and making funny mistakes?
Do you know what? It's so heartwarming, and on a daily basis, I'm impressed with him. His communication skills and his English, his language skills are really, really impressive. He can articulate and express himself so well. You know, it really does, yeah, it wows me. But some of the ways that his language is developed is funny and interesting. So you can see him learning things. So an example is his friend at nursery. She had her birthday the other day, and he was trying to say to us, she had cake and she had presents. What he ended up saying was, her had cake and her had presents. So I can see in his mind, he's trying to say the right thing, but he's just getting she and her mixed up.
Yeah, I mean, so he knows that it's a pronoun. He's not thinking pronoun, but he knows the function.
Yes.
But it's just the slightly wrong function.
And I imagine when I was a child, you know, I made mistakes like that, which I don't make now.
So how do you correct him, or what do you do?
You know, I always listen to him because he says fascinating things. Her had cake. Wow.
Okay.
But what I'll do is I just say, if he says her had cake, I'll say, oh, did she have cake? You know, I'm just kind of...
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the word? I'm repeating what he's saying, but using repeated
feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously he's just learning, and he's learning by communicating with others and listening to others. Yeah. That's why he can talk.
Yeah. It's amazing. Are there any phrases that he says that melt you, like melt your heart, right? Or crack you up?
Yeah. So his favourite food for the longest time was pizza, but recently his new favourite food is pasta. And I don't know what people think if people hear him asking for this. I have no idea what they think because he asks for pasta Michelle's.
Pasta Michelle's.
Yeah, what he's trying to say, or he just thinks they're called pasta Michelle's, but what they're actually called is pasta shells. So, yeah, you know, the little cupped pasta shapes, he calls them pasta Michelle's.
Oh, that's so cute. Pasta Michelle's.
Pasta Michelle's with sauce.
Oh, I love it. Really interesting question for the last one. What kind of relationship do you hope to have with him when he's older?
Oh, well, you know the typical phrase, a father figure. That, you know, I want him to ask me for advice. I want to be able to help him in every element that he needs helping with, be it his studies, although I'm not very good at maths. But, you know, I turned to my dad when I first moved in to a new property. I didn't know how to change a light bulb. I asked my dad. Your dad is always the go-to person. I want to be that for Theo. But equally as important, I want to be his friend. I think as I've grown up, my parents have gone from not just being my parents, but to being my mates as well. You know, me and my dad go for a pint at the pub. And it's, you know, because he's my friend. And I want to have that with Theo. And I really like playing video games. So I hope he does as well, because I'd love to play games with him.
I'm sure you will be playing a lot of video games together. I can see that.
Yeah, I want to play Mario Kart.
Yeah. And I can also see your wife tell you both to stop playing them.
She's going to hate it.
Yeah. The next topic is aging.
Aging.
Yeah. So my first question is, do you feel different in your 30s compared to your 20s?
Definitely.
In a good way or not?
As in my body, I feel I get tired more easily. I've got more greys than ever before. I had a shave today because if I grow my beard or my stubble, it's full of grey hairs.
I mean, I have grey hair.
I've got a lot.
Yeah, you don't like it.
When I reached my 30s, suddenly I started having back pain. I had sciatica once. That didn't happen in my 20s.
Bad, wasn't it? Yeah.
But, you know, physically there have been those changes. And I think you have to fight more to kind of prevent them. So I run now, and I lift weights.
I think you're in the best shape of your life, aren't you?
Well,
Nearly.
yeah, but I mean, I really enjoy it, but you know, I know that it's healthy to do that. So I'm sort of health conscious in that regard. But also, you know, the positives of growing older and being in my 30s is I've advanced in my career more, you know, through experience and time.
Absolutely.
That's great. So I'm more sort of financially stable than I was in my 20s. I have a family now. I have a wife and child. So I've got my own little unit. Yeah, so it's harder because you're old, but you know, it's also great. You're growing old and maturing.
Yeah.
I'm wiser than ever before.
I definitely feel like I've learned a lot. I just wish that I could go back to my 20s now with everything that I've learned.
Really?
I do, yeah.
What, would you do anything differently or just...
Yeah, I would.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like what?
I'd say no a lot. I'd stop worrying about what people think about me.
Well, when you master that, tell me how.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's how I was able to start this YouTube channel, because I stopped caring about what other people thought of me.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, that's...
I mean, yeah, prior to this, you asked me if I would be in a podcast, and I was excited. And then as the day got closer and closer, I've become more and more nervous. Today, I said to my wife on the phone, I don't want to do it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I get too nervous, people sort of seeing me, or what if I sound like an idiot?
Yeah.
But, you know...
We'll always have that negative voice in our heads. It's just about not listening to it, isn't it? That's what I've realised.
I guess.
Anyway, we need to keep moving on because I've got challenge questions for you.
Okay.
Okay, next question. Has becoming a dad changed how you see yourself physically or emotionally?
Yeah, I have to be more responsible now in my choices. You know, in so many elements, some financial choices, because it's not just looking after myself anymore. You know, how I spend my time, my weekends, I can't just stay in bed or play on my PlayStation all day. We have to do things that, you know, are child friendly and help him to thrive and experience new things. And actually, just going back to what I was saying, we took him to a museum in Sheffield.
Oh yeah.
Recently, and he was amazed at these things. He was...
Oh, I'd love to share that video of him.
It was, and you know, that was so good for me as a father, but also good for him. You know, he was experiencing these new things that amazed him, and he was learning. But also, you know, going back to, I like to sort of stay in shape and keep fit because I want to be around for as long as possible.
Yeah.
I want to see him grow up.
Yeah.
You know, so.
All right, last question for this section. If you could freeze one version of yourself, which would it be? So you can think about, you know, age, mindset, lifestyle. You can answer however you like.
Can I freeze two? I would freeze maybe when I first went to university, because that was just, you know, my life was very different to now. It was all about me and it was all about having fun. But then the other version would be now.
I thought that too. When I wrote this down, everyone, I have a notebook with all the questions that I wrote down.
He's cheating.
Well, not cheating. I wrote these down, but I actually said, you know what? I think I would also freeze right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although maybe in a few years for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my son is full of childlike wonder. You know, he thinks that we are the voice of reason, and we're just making it up as we go along. But it's great. He's such good fun, and you know, my life is I have a happy life, you know, and I wouldn't change anything about it. Yeah, it would be now. Forget my first answer. That's your sort of obvious, typical answer. Or when I was at university, life was at its best, but now.
You'd freeze it now.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great.
Who knows though? Ask me again in 10 years.
Okay, now we have come to the last section of this podcast, the challenge questions. So the first challenge question is a future wish. If you could see 20 years into Theo's future, your son's future, what would you hope to see?
That he is happy, healthy, and successful. That's a boring answer, but
what you don't realize is he might actually be watching this video in 20 years' time.
well,
He probably will be watching this video in 20 years' time.
I mean, obviously, the most important thing is that I hope he's happy and healthy. You know, as I said, when I see him enjoying himself, that makes me happy. And I want him to have that for the rest of his life, but also good health and success, because why not? You know, that'll make his life better.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means, exactly. In any terms.
Yeah, great. Next question is the magic change question, I call it. If you could magically feel completely confident in one area of life, what would you pick?
Oh,
it's an interesting question.
If I could feel, well, I'm quite self-conscious about the way I look. I've broken my nose sort of like 4 times. I've been to hospital and had it rebroken multiple times. Yeah, I'm quite self-conscious about that. If that could go away and I was super confident.
So you basically want to look like Voldemort, no nose.
Yeah, that's it. That would be great. It would make my life so much easier. But that's very sort of shallow, self-centered one. There's a wasp.
There's a wasp.
What about, having confidence in the workplace would be great. You know, in a meeting, there's no worse place to say the wrong thing, or forget a fact, or you know, misspeak, especially around senior management. So if I could just have confidence there, that would be great.
Okay. The next question is the classic dinner guest question, and it's, if you could have dinner with a film director, actor, or even a fictional character, right? So a character that isn't real, who would it be and why?
Oh, that's a good one.
I thought you might like this question because you like movies.
David Fincher is my favourite director. His meticulous style and attention to detail.
Yeah.
That would be, good. A good actor, he's not my favourite actor, but Tom Cruise would be an interesting dinner guest because of all the crazy stunts that he does. It would be fun to quiz him on those. And other than entertaining the audience, as he says, the rationale behind why he makes some of these crazy decisions. A fictional character.
Oh, you only had to choose one.
Yeah, I know.
You're doing all.
I'm thinking it out.
Okay.
Homer Simpson would be good. Yeah.
Why Homer Simpson?
Well, he's a classic buffoon character. He's been around for my entire life almost. But okay, I'm going to go with Tom Cruise.
Okay. That's your final answer?
Yeah, sure.
It's a good answer, yeah. And okay, the second to last question, this is the one rule question. And it is, if you could make one rule for your future self to follow, what would it be? Take your time with this one. Don't feel pressured to answer too quickly.
It would be to do not always prioritize what I want. You know, it's really important to take into consideration what other people want, and their feelings and their desires. What I mean by that is, you know, there are things that my wife wants to do that I don't really want to do, but she does things that I'm interested in that she doesn't care about. You know, she does that for me. So the one rule would be to be consistent with that. And
prioritize others.
Yeah, prioritize others. And the same with Theo. I mean, going to a soft play isn't the most thrilling thing.
What soft play?
A soft play is usually an indoor centre for children where the walls are spongy.
All soft.
Yeah, everything's soft and there's slides and things like that. And it's not the most thrilling thing for an adult, but he loves it. So prioritizing what he wants. And the same with you. You're always asking me to go for a walk with you, and now we've done it.
Well, I wouldn't consider this a walk.
We're walking.
Yeah. The last question is the advice question. It's a special one for you. And it is, if you could go back to the early days of fatherhood and whisper something to yourself, what would you say?
I would say try and get over this disconnect that you're feeling. You love Theo as much as anything, you love him as much as all of your family members. He's fantastic and it's going to be great. It's the greatest thing ever. That's what I'd say to myself to make me snap out of it.
Right. Okay, Elliot, thank you so much for carving the time out to meet up like this.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it. I think it's time to have a drink at the pub.
Let's go for a pint.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to get the free PDF and possibly other materials to help you follow along with this episode. Bye, everyone.